What's up, y'all? It's Tiffany here, and baby Camila. Obviously, as you can tell, I am feeding her because it doesn't get much realer than this. So if you're tuning in, go ahead and grab some snacks. This is going to be a long one. And go ahead and subscribe and like to watch more of our videos coming soon. We're going to go ahead and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly when it came down to my C-section experience. Date of delivery. Oh my gosh, it was so unbearable.
So much pain.
I was in labor for 36 hours, so we did have to have a C-section due to this little one. After close to 12 hours of knowing that she had already pooped in me and that she was sunny side up. Sunny side up, for those of you that don't know, means that she was face up going down my canal. I decided to move forward going with the C-section because I didn't want it to turn it into an emergency C-section where we really would feel more rushed and out of control of things. They told us we had an hour to prep for C-section. I was like, and I was in the hospital from Saturday morning around 8 a.m. and by this time it was Sunday at 5 or around 5 p.m. when they started prepping me, and your girl was hungry, yo.
I was hungry.
Not only that though, when you go into labor, you start sweating profusely. Like, you have no control over this. Like, you have zero control whatsoever. Like, zero control. So it's like you're sweating, you're pushing, like, you know, you're trying to give birth and your girl can't have no water. Like, what? So they obviously prepped me. They you know, let me know ahead of time, you know, made me sign some paperwork, like, in case I die. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to die right now. Start wheeling me in. They start wheeling me in and I start throwing up. Like, once I knew this was real, I started throwing up. Like, I just got so nervous. When they start to prepare you in the room, no one can be there. So when they told me that, I literally looked frantically at Felix like, wait, what? Like, I have to go in by myself? And so they had him wait outside until they prepped me. And once they give you the anesthesia on your back, like, you're good to go. Like, honey, you ain't gonna feel anything after that. After that, I was cool. I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, you ready? Because I'm ready. Hold on. I gotta clean this girl up. So once you're in the room, getting ready, you're all prepped to go, that's when they bring in your partner. And from there, it's game time. It is game time, people. Like, your life is about to change. I just remember I was constantly trembling. Like, I couldn't feel my anything from my waist down, but my whole body was trembling and I just couldn't control it. It was almost like I was afraid, and I really was. Like, I was afraid. Like, knowing that I had to go in for like a huge operation like that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is gonna be such a life changer. Like, I already know, and I was like, gosh, this scar's gonna be horrible. And I'm like thinking, like, okay, well, you know, is the baby gonna be okay though now that we're doing the C-section? Like, you know, now I knew we weren't running that high of a risk of her swallowing her own poop. But it was just, there's so many thoughts going in your head because you're thinking recovery, you're thinking baby, you're thinking, you know, the scar, your body, you have so many emotions going on that literally the C-section goes in a blink of an eye. I just remember waiting, like, it felt like forever, but I remember, like, okay, you know, get your camera out, Dad, get your camera out. And I just remember Felix, like, rummaging through his pockets for a phone, right? And so he grabs his phone, he stands up, and I just remember him grabbing the camera, and he's just like, oh my god, I'm looking at him, right? So I'm literally laying on this bed, I'm just looking at him like, oh my god, like, is she ugly? Like, what is it? Like, what are you seeing? Like, what is it? What? And then I hear the crying, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, this is it. Like, I'm a mom. Like, oh, I'm about to start crying right now. Like, I just remember, like, holy cow, this is what I've always wanted, you know? And I just remember looking at the time, like, right away, as soon as I heard her cry. It was 6:23 p.m. I'm thinking, cool, like, this was it. And then I'm thinking, what the hell? Like, I was pushing for
36 hours?
only for you guys to complete this in like an hour. And I'm like, what? I remember I was like happy and mad. I'm like, well, this is some. I just remember being really happy that she was born. You know, they told us she was healthy. And then I was just laying there. I couldn't hold her. I wasn't able to hold her right away. So like, I wasn't able to have that bond with her immediately. That is when I realized that the C-section wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So that's when I realized things were going to be different. So I obviously wasn't able to hold her right away because I'm all held down on a table, and obviously my arms are all, you know, hooked up to these machines. But not only that, I was bleeding out pretty badly. I was actually really swollen on the inside because I was in labor for so long, and on top of that, she was actually pushing as well. She was there at the canal, she just couldn't get through because she was, you know, sunny side up. So they had to wait for me to actually kind of have the swelling go down. So I actually went a full hour in the operating room before I was actually able to really see her and hold her. So while I was there for the full hour, Felix actually got to leave with her and start doing all the testing and the exams and whatnot that they needed to do, like her, you know, I don't know actually what they did because I wasn't there for it, right? After the hour that we had given birth, so it was around 7:30 actually when I finally got to the recovery room. We had doctors coming in every hour and our machines were going off, and they just wanted to make sure that I was doing fine, that, you know, my incision wasn't leaking out or anything like that. And it was just like, I just wanted to sleep so badly. I just, like, once you sign up to get any medication, you just signed up for a decatheter as well. And so I looked down the side of my hospital bed. So this is day 2 after she's born. And I see that there's a huge bucket of pee about to, like, literally tip over. And I was like,
Oh.
so you're hooked up to a decatheter. They make you pee within a certain amount of hours. If you don't do it, the decatheter
Stays inside of you.
like, the bathroom is only like a few steps away from your bed, but you can't even do it. Like, it's so hard. Like, you literally are hanging on to your machine and to your walls of the hospital to try to make it to the bathroom. I couldn't even go pee. I didn't go pee for another 3 to 4 hours because my body was so numb that I wasn't releasing anything. I was like, oh, she's knocked out. You guys want to see? What? Once you have a C-section, you don't realize how much you use your abs for everything. Like, even to get up, I would actually need someone to pull me up, or give me that momentum. We're like 1, 2, to get me up because I couldn't do it at all on my own. So that was the hard part, knowing that I physically now can't take care of my own baby. You're on a hospital bed, you're laying down. When you hear the baby cry or the baby needs something, you want to get up, right? Well, in order to get up when you're laying flat, you have to use your abdomen muscle to get up. But I didn't have any of that strength anymore in my core. Your doctor or nurse is going to go in the bathroom with you for the first time and hook you up with one of these bad boys here. You're going to be wearing these
Sexy and stretchy.
not sold in stores, top-notch quality, okay? Like, look, this is for like one specific thigh. Like, this is what I had to wear my entire duration at the hospital. I thought, honestly, you have a C-section, you get cut up, baby comes out, boom, done, right? Nah.
Nah.
You're also bleeding down there, girl. So this now becomes your new granny panties. So your old granny panties that you thought you had at home, those are technically now your sexy panties. Those are your sexy granny panties. These are the real panties we're talking about here, honey. Like, these are it. Like, look. Like,
It doesn't get much better than this.
so you wear these with a pad. I'm going to actually reenact it for you. The pads are actually roughly about this long. So it covers you from belly button to the very end of your
Butt crack.
literally, because the incision is so delicate. It's so delicate that any little thing that touches it, it just feels like someone stabbed you. Like, that is how severe of the pain it is. I literally wore my hospital gown every day. So for the 4 days that I was there up until I had to go home. They do give you a wrap at the hospital to kind of help adjust and tighten up. And I don't think I realized how much of a support it was until I would take it off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can feel everything, right? Like, any little movement, just doing this, like me moving side to side, that was painful. You definitely, oh god, I remember this. You definitely can't get in a car and go through speed bumps or potholes or any of that because you feel it. Oh my gosh, I felt like my gut or my intestines were all about to come out. I remember the first speed bump we hit, and we were going slow, but we obviously went through it, and I was like,
Oh my god. trash.
Didn't know, it just didn't trigger at the time. That's how delicate this surgery is. So yeah, that's how delicate this open wound is. And so going through speed bumps, potholes, I remember even getting into the car the first time. Oh my gosh. So your level of sexiness has just shot up the sky on a whole, like on some real stuff. Your sexiness just spiked up, like, ugh.